Madloma is very disappointed. She felt really defeated after going through Lihle's phone. She saw the chats between Lihle and Libone and also saw the pictures, metric dance, and realized Gutu Lihle was wearing the very same dress that they found her wearing at the hotel when she was with Libone. Umadloma is defeated. Who is this child? Angmazlo. This is not Utembe Lihle wami. So Umadloma found out or realized there's actually a lot of things that Lihle has been lying about. First, the phone that she said she wanted at school was actually a phone that Libone bought for her. And also the metric dance, she lied and didn't even wear the dress that Madlomo had to hustle for her because she couldn't buy her a new dress. She left home wearing a dress and actually appeared at metric dance wearing a very short dress that she wouldn't leave home wearing. Umadlomo was surprised because she kept on wanting to see metric dance pictures, but Ulittle wouldn't let her. Now it makes sense why she didn't want Madlomo to see the pictures. And then she also learned that the tutoring thing was not even real. Little confessed what Ulibone came up with the idea and she sold it to the parents because so they could spend time together. Madlomo is like, who are you? Ubani lo? Because Umadlomo was even surprised. So when did you find out ukuthi ulibone uwubani? Ulihle explained ukuthi it was after he bought her the phone. So Madlomo is short. So even after that, you still continue seeing this person. Kwenze njani Lihle? And Lihle explains ukuthi ulibone made her believe that he loved her. I think that's why she continued with the so-called relationship. Umadlomo feels ukuthi yo angikwazi Lihle, I don't even know who you are. Please explain everything to me from start to finish. I want to know everything because apparently Umadlomo was asking what happened at the hotel. Ulihle does not says nothing happened, but she didn't want to take the rape kit. So Umadlomo is worried what if Ulibone actually did something to her. If she would take the rape kit, then at least she would feel relieved because it would prove that she's still a virgin. And then Umadlomo decides, sit down, tell me everything that happened from start to finish. Upototo then fills in Tebogo about what happened when they found Ulihle at the hotel with Libone. Tebogo feels disgusted because Libone is actually someone that she was dating, and while it's someone who is actually preying on kids, so she feels disgusted because how can I be with someone like that? Also feels bad for the kids because Utsepiso is already pregnant. Ulihle almost fell victim. Upototo is even saying this is very personal for me because Ulihle, I regard Lihle as my little sister. So seeing her go through this was a very personal matter to me. So I went to hospital to see Uncle Libone to confront him about everything that's been transpiring. Him dating Lihle and Tepiso girl being pregnant and about her childhood. So what is it what kind of person are you? Instead of protecting these kids, when you are the one taking advantage of them. And then Libone says Lihle loves him and he loves Lihle. Tepiso now she's pregnant with your child. No one can prove that I'm the father. He does not even look remorseful at all. Tlhogo then ask him, why am I a wallpaper on your laptop? My childhood picture is a wallpaper on your laptop. This whole thing now makes sense. I think that is why my mom cut the family off, because she probably knew the kind of person that you are, and she told the family, but they protected you. That's why she cut the family off. That's why she didn't want you anywhere near me. Libone says, I've got your picture there because you're my niece. But and then Tlhoge leaves, sort of in tears or in teary eyes. Libone now is starting to have a reflection. I don't know if he's just reflecting or just worried that Tlhoge is going to remember what exactly happened. And then it seems like Lihle finally took the rape test kit, and Ntutuka talks to her saying that I feel bad that I wasn't there for you. I wish I was there. I feel like what Dad did to Libone is nothing. I would have beat him up to a pulp. But that wasn't going to help you. You're just going to end up in prison. Fana no baba almost did. And this is my mistake. It's my fault. It's the bad decisions that I took. Now I have to live with the consequences because I allowed an old man to make me believe that he loves me, get in my head and make me believe that he loves me. And then Upototo finally has a talk Tugo about this whole Lihle thing, saying that he's so mad about what happened to Lihle because he saw the signs, like he's been suspecting. And then Untutu is like, what? Are you saying what you knew all this all along at how? You knew Ganjani, but you knew all along and said nothing. Untutu was trying to shift the blame to Upototo. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell us? Athe Pototo kahle I knew and said nothing. Ngangasho lutho mina. Remember I told you wena ukuthi speak to Lihle, there's a boy umbayizisayo. But what did you say when? He was too busy. Tutu was busy getting drunk. I think that's why he regrets so much now, because if he wasn't so invested in alcohol, maybe he would have seen the signs. But he was too busy with Jwala that he did not even pay attention to when Pototo was trying to warn him, go to check on Lihle, man. I think something's going on. Pototo said, yo, Sugeli, please, I did. You can't say I said nothing. I'm the one who told your mom. I'm the one that made sure they're able to get Lihle. When I told you, Wenzan, you were too busy with your own things. And then, Ugasa has gone back to Mthethwa for his meat supplies. And uthi like how, so you're not going to give me another chance? Basakhuluma njalo. Mob justice comes. People are angry, they're furious, they start attacking. Obafana sells out saying this is the person that's responsible for the contaminated beef. Tina and just Natala were fine. The mob justice bamthatha ke abantu, lifted Orchid up. They almost had him, tore his clothes up. David was so scared, begged them to like utwamiege. And then David is blaming Ugasa. How can you let that happen to my child? Knowing exactly what inyama, the beef was contaminated and all that. And then Ugasa, if one Gabafana rings, Ugasa picks up the call, only to hear Mtata talking. Mtata did not even want to wait to see Gutubano Kulmayo. Assumed go to Bafana because that's his phone. Started talking about, you see, no one died. Now we're back to business. And I sent your last payment. Ugasa is shocked. So now Ugasa knows what Bafana know behind this whole contamination thing. Ngapha Utiro is busy fishing information kusemide ukuthi kahle where did uTaps Nomdala get money to buy such an expensive place? Because Etembeno was like 10 million or 8 million, if I'm not mistaken. So he's trying to make sure, where did they get this money, just to see if they're not involved in any illegal things, so that he can turn Umdala in exchange for his freedom. Mandlama feels so bad, saying she's so angry at herself because she should have seen the signs. Well, she tried to speak to her, but she did not really pay attention. So she feels like if she was more open to her or there for her, then maybe it shouldn't have happened. And then she also says, she blames also that her and him and Hloso are no longer together. Ulihle is able to lie to them because they live separately and they don't talk anymore. And then they don't talk that much anymore. And then Kiriboni tells her, you just need to support her and tell her you love her and show her support. And then Ulihle apologizes again, saying, I'm sorry for what I did. I will never do it again. Kumawake also apologizes, saying, I should have been there for you. I should have supported you. Even when I found out, I should have been supportive. But then I was just so angry and confused. So please, going forward, don't be afraid to talk to me. And if I'm not listening, just make sure that you force me to listen. And I think, and she says that she must apologize to Hloso and Dintle. So Hloso and Dintle come over. Ulihle apologizes, saying that I called you here because I wanted to apologize for lying to you and putting you in an awkward position. And also says thank you to her dad, Unhloso, for saving her or rescuing her. Unhloso was just sitting there quiet, did not even utter a single word. Dintle realizes, hey, this man is quiet. So Dintle responds and says, we're not angry at you. We're just worried about you. That's why. And please know, Hori, you are always welcome in our home. And all that. And then, Ulihle is like, thank you, but I feel like I need to stay here for now. I don't think she'd want to go back to Dintle's house. She'd want to stay with her mom. And then Basakhuluma and Hloso says, I think we should leave. Hloso already wants to go. Did not even say any word to Lihle. And then uGasa questions bafana ukuthi, do you know umthetho? The supplier, he denies it, saying akamazi. Amtshela ukuthi yazini, inside your phone I heard everything. Azama ukuphika, uGasa took out a shambok. Wambhaqabula abafana while the doors are locked. Okidi, they tried to shout ukuthi hey Gasa miyeke. Wamshasha la khona uyovuka esibhedlela. And then uGasa apologizes to Oket, and Oket is willing to come back again and be his supplier. But David is not accepting the apology, saying that the mob justice could have killed his son. And then what happened in Mdala, they have like some presentation to pitch to the other partners, Vuvu and Dindle. And then Samide coming with Tiro, but hey, we are not needed here. And then they kick him out, saying this is not a family meeting because he was going on about I'm here to support my father. And he just wants to fish to get more information about so that he can actually exchange dollar for his freedom. And then the meeting goes south when Samide realizes also they want to shut him out. Saying that the supermarket does not fit the strategy that they want to do in the new building and what. And then Vuvu is also not happy because they sidelined her. They didn't tell her while she's an equal partner about these new developments that they're doing. Then they start fighting because Tapela is also against Mdala, saying that they must cut off Etembeni, his uncle's shop. While Utire sits standing outside listening to this whole fight and conversation, so Utire is busy gathering information so that he can use it against them to give to the lawyer. Botsotso came to see Lihle bearing gifts. Ulihle apologized finally to Botsotso, saying ukuthi yazi Botsotso, I'm so sorry, wasn't my intention, izinto engizenzile, and thank you again for searching for me and finding me. I know I heard ukuthi you are the first person to realize ukuthi I was missing. Ugela ukuthi she was missing, ubelahlekile, not saying ukuthi ubehambe no Libone. Like, this is confusing. How do you say you were ulahlekile when you know what you left no Libone? And then says she's worried about having to go to court and testify and all that. But Botsotso encourage her, you are a survivor, you did this, you won against Ulibone. And then Lihle tells her, I'm worried if my dad will ever forgive me and whether I'll still be able to go back to Amagugu. Yes, we can still go back. I wonder why Lihle is worried, because she said that Ulibone did not have sex with her. So she's still a virgin. I think she should be able to still go back. And then uMadlomo worried about Ulihle, calls Unhloso to come so they can talk. Unhloso comes to the house, and at first Unhloso was defensive, thinking that uMadlomo is blaming him. But uMadlomo made her realize that in this thing of donsa all these differences which we cannot talk. That's the reason why umntwana was able to lie to us, because as Zwani, like, we don't see eye to eye. So that is why Lihle was able to lie to us. So we must take this as a lesson to actually like sort out our co-parenting so that we can prevent these kind of issues. And then also finally agrees with Madlomo, all right, I think we need to do better as parents. And then Utiro busy putting in my ideas Semide, because Semide is worried was they want to kick him out, Ishopeke out of Etembeni or out of the vision board. Utiro is like, you know what, I have an idea. We can just turn the tenants against Usindane. That way they'll know that these developments don't involve them. But Semide is like, I don't like scheming, mean. I leave it to Tiro to do the work, I guess. Utiro goes to Devet as if he's going to buy alcohol. And is there to actually turn Devet against Usindane. He tells him, hey, they're planning to replace all of you and put our franchises. Cool. Devet was mad. He goes to Gasa to tell him. Gasa is also unaware. Closer comes, they also tell him. Closer is also unaware. And then they're like, why are these people lying to us? Because your wife is Dintle. Why is Dintle not telling you? And then Gasa, Nokidibone, they plan a double date, no Devet, no Teddy, just to apologize to them because they feel good as in a relationship because of this meat being contaminated issue. Some Mthunzi is haunted. Dambisa is haunting Mthunzi, keeps on appearing. Mthunzi keeps on seeing Dambisa and remembering all the things that happened, finding Dambisa Elele after she took pills. And then he decides that he's going to go see a traditional healer. And then the traditional healer is trying to get rid of his spirits Dambisa, but Dambisa keeps on appearing. Azakhala Mthunzi ebhizi, please leave me alone, ndiyeke Dambisa. It's just so weird seeing Mthunzi so vulnerable. And then it turns out that Mthunzi must go back to Joburg, to Gauteng, to complete his unfinished business. Kodwa Mthunzi says that he cannot go back to Gauteng because he remembers everything that transpired there. Remember when after everything that happened, Umdala promised him Guti, if he ever comes back to eThekwini again, he will finish him off, because he let him go, saying that he won't kill him. He's letting him go, but he must leave. So Mthunzi tells the traditional healer that I cannot go back to Gauteng. Ati, the traditional healer, you have no choice, you have to go back there. I've got so many enemies there, I can't go back there. He knows that if he goes back there, he's going to die. But the traditional healer insists that he needs to go back. So Mthunzi is going to make a return at eThekwini. And then Unhloso talks to Dinhle about the changes. Dinhle says we are still discussing it, is not final. And then they meet the partners to come up with a way forward, because they realize this whole thing is shaking up everyone at eThekwini. And then they decided they all vote against Mdala to say that let's not get rid of the supermarket because it's going to cause Irauraula at eThekwini. And then they all agree, saying that let's leave the supermarket and leave everyone else to keep their businesses. And then they call everyone, all the tenants at eThekwini, Odevet, Ogasa, and Usemidei. As usually comes with Tiro. Umdala is not settled with him bringing Tiro, saying how not you making this a habit of busy coming here, but Tiro is actually in Semidei, so he has every right to be here. And then they start talking. They go on with, hey, you guys want to get rid of us, and that's not fair because we had an agreement. And then Thapelo informs them, you know what, we've spoken about this, and we are not getting rid of the supermarket anymore. Everyone can keep their places. And then Udinhle was saying that Semidei is lying by saying that they want to get rid of him. Madlomo lost it. And now there's a rift between Madlomo and Dinhle, saying that Udinhle is disrespecting Semidei by saying that he's lying because Semidei mdala. And then Utirera realizes his plan didn't work of trying to get rid of Sindani, because now they're getting rid of the plan to ukususa eThekwini, so ukususa supermarket Semidei. So then now his plan has failed. Tiro finds Poet on the phone speaking to a potential agency. He runs things for him, saying he must give back his phone because he said they cannot have phones M7. And then Poet talks to Toriso about it. Toriso's like, please call this person and forget about Tiro. Tiro decides to hand a written warning to Poet, saying that he violated my company policies of using a cell phone during working hours, while he has specifically told him not to. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.